So part 2 of the story starts by saying, one day, Puss in Boots asks Tom to take off his old clothes. To explain this a bit more, let's look at the noun clothes. C-L-O-T-H-E-S. Clothes. It's not clotheses. Please don't say that, pronounce it that way. It's clothes. Either way, it's our next word power word. Clothes, again, that's clothes, not clotheses. Clothes are the things that people wear to cover their body or keep warm. I'm wearing clothes right now. Here's another example. Mum asked me to put on more clothes because it was cold outside. Mum asked me to put on more clothes because it was cold outside.
Clothes 是衣服的意思，那记得哦，你可以念作 clothes or clothes， 但千万不要念成 clothes， 那就大错特错了。那我们例句说呢，妈妈要我多加些衣服，因为外头很冷。那我们说呢，多加衣服，那就要是 put on the clothes， 穿上，多加衣服。那如果是脱掉呢，那就是我们文章看到的 take off the clothes。那故事说啊，有一天呢，Puss 就叫 Tom 把他身上的衣服、旧衣服都脱掉。
And we also see that go for a swim in the river, he tells him.
然后呢 ，Puss in Boots 就要 Tom 去河里面游泳。Why does the cat do this?
Well, before we see why, remember, Tom was poor,
Yes.
so he probably had kind of old, not very nice clothes. But Puss wants people to think Tom is a marquis, and a marquis wouldn't wear such old clothes.
Yeah, that's right. 侯爵怎么可以穿旧衣服呢？ I'm beginning to understand.
So here's the next part of the plan. The article says Puss then hides his clothes.
Puss 就把 Tom 的衣服给藏起来。So now Tom has no clothes. This could get embarrassing.
Maybe. Or maybe it's a clever part of the plan. Next, we see that soon after, the king drives by.
很快的，国王的车就经过了。I wouldn't want to meet a king if I didn't have any clothes on.
Well, I think Tom will have to. Here's what happens. Help! Puss cries. Now, here, we're not using cry like cry tears because you're sad. The verb cry, C-R-Y, can also mean to shout loudly, usually because you need help, you're very excited, or you're suddenly in pain.
所以 cry 这个字呢，在这边不当哭泣的动作，这边当的是大喊。所以呢 ，Puss 就大喊 Help, help， 来人帮忙啊 ！What else does Puss say?
We see in the article that he shouts, Someone stole my master's clothes!
他大喊说啊，有人偷走我的主人的衣服，一定是好衣服才会被偷。I see. This will make sure the king thinks Tom is the marquis.
Exactly. Right. As the article says, the king thinks Tom is the Marquis of Carabas.
国王就认为 Tom 就是 Carabas 的侯爵。I knew it. What else happens?
We see that he gives Tom some fine new clothes. Now, to describe the clothes, we use the adjective fine, F-I-N-E, fine. Let's see what that means by going to today's next word power word section. So, fine means of very good quality, something really nice. Here's an example. Eric painted a fine picture of the beautiful mountains. Eric painted a fine picture of the beautiful mountains.
Fine 这个形容词呢，代表的是上等的、精致的。那例句说啊 ，Aaron 画了一幅精致的山景画。回到故事里头呢，国王接着就给 Tom 一些好的新衣服。So now Tom has really nice clothes, like a real marquis.
But that's not all. We see that the king's daughter is with him.
What? 国王的女儿当时是在国王旁边的 So she saw Tom with no clothes on.
Yes, that's an interesting way to meet someone for the first time. It seems to be good for Tom, though. We see that She falls in love with Tom at first sight.
Whoa.
Whoa. Okay, if you fall in love with someone at first sight, you see them and then wham, that's it. You're in love. You don't grow to love them over a period of time. It's just from the very first moment. And this kind of thing is more common in stories than real life, but it can happen.
It can happen. We say it's love at first sight. 一见钟情。公主对 Tom 一见钟情。Maybe Tom is really handsome.
Maybe she feels sorry for him because someone stole his clothes. Who knows? Maybe she just likes his cat. Anyway, Puss in Boots hasn't finished getting nice things for Tom.
There's more. He already has money,
Yep.
new clothes,
Yep.
and the king's daughter.
Yeah.
She likes him.
Right. But there's still one thing left. The next part of the story starts by saying Puss in Boots now needs to find a nice new home for his master.
现在 Puss 的任务呢，就是要帮他的主人找一个家。Yeah, a marquis should have a nice home. Where can he live?
The article says he, that's Puss in Boots, hears about a beautiful castle. If you hear about something, maybe someone tells you, or you hear other people talking about it, or you hear it on the news or on TV, we can kind of use hear about casually to mean you actually see or read about it too. You just become aware of a fact.
To hear about something 代表的是听说某事。那 Puss 听说了一件事情，什么事情呢？ It's about a castle.
Yeah, a beautiful castle. The noun castle, C-A-S-T-L-E, castle, is our next word power word. So let's check it out. A castle is a large, strong building with thick walls built in the past to protect the people inside from being attacked. We often think about castles as places where kings and queens and so on live, especially in the old days. Here's an example. The young king decided to build his castle along the river. The young king decided to build his castle along the river.
Castle 这个名词呢是城堡。那注意哦，如果一个单词的字尾是 S-T-L-E 结尾的 T 不发音哦，我们念作 castle。那我们例句说啊，那位年轻的国王决定要沿河岸建筑他的城堡。那回到故事呢 ，Puss 听说有一座非常漂亮的城堡。A castle would be a cool place to live in.
Indeed. There are many castles close to where I grew up, and I even thought of getting married inside the one in my home city.
That would be so cool.
It would. It would be a Game of Thrones wedding,
Yes.
kind of. Anyway, getting this castle in the story might not be so easy for Puss in Boots. The article says that there's only one problem, though.
不过只有一个问题 What's the problem?
The article says the castle belongs to a huge and terrible ogre.
Oh, no.
Yeah, before we explain who or what that is, let's look at the phrasal verb belong to. Belong is B-E-L-O-N-G, belong, and then to, T-O, and belong to is our last word power word for today. So the phrasal verb belong to is nice and simple. If something belongs to someone, they own it. It's theirs. Here's an example. That isn't your hat. It belongs to me. That isn't your hat. It belongs to me.
Belong to 这个动词片语呢是属于的意思。那例句说啊，这不是你的帽子，它是我的。当我们说 A belong to B， 代表的是 A 属于 B。那主词放的呢是某个物品 ，to 后面接的是物品的主人。那这个动词片语呢只有主动没有被动。那回到故事里头呢，这个城堡啊是属于一只 huge and terrible ogre。Huge
means really big, really large in size or something else. If you make a huge mistake, it's a really big mistake.
So huge 就是 very big, 巨大的意思。What's an ogre?
An ogre, and this is O-G-R-E, ogre, is a monster from stories. They're often very big, like giants, and they like to eat humans. They are nasty and mean and ugly and often rather stupid. Sometimes they have two heads. But if we go back to the start of day one, Shrek is an ogre. So that gives you some idea of what we're talking about.
其实呢，简单来说啊，童话故事里面的怪兽，我们就可以叫它是 ogre。那 Shrek is an ogre， 史瑞克就是一只 ogre. So how can Puss in Boots get the castle?
We'll have to wait until tomorrow to find out, as we're now at the end of day 2. It's now time to go to today's magic box.